we are. Hello, hello, hello. We are live. Welcome to the Paddock Pass podcast, or P3 as we like to call it. Well, I like to call it. I don't know about you. And I'm Jason,
I'm Nate.
and we're getting ready here for the Hungarian Grand Prix.
The
Um,
Hungaring.
Hungaring. We do have some interesting news that has come out today. Well, first of all, yesterday qualifying. I don't know about you, but there was definitely some unforeseen results there, in my opinion.
Yeah, it was a kind of a wild time. And we talked about this, a little bit earlier. Unexpected penalties handed out during qualifying. Between Hamilton and Antonelli, it was kind of an upset, and of course George Russell's issues with the car.
Yep.
Obviously, they just did the grid walk, so no grid penalty for him.
Correct.
So not an
I'm
upgraded
not
power unit.
I'm not
Right?
exactly
What's the rule of that?
sure. I'm not exactly sure what the. I mean, my understanding of the rules was if you change out an engine part, you get a penalty. Not as heavy as a penalty if you exceed your allocation. So if you're new to Formula One or racing in general, in Formula One, the teams all have a certain allocation of parts that they can swap out with the car throughout the course of a season. Now, with the power unit, they're allowed four for a 24 race season. And apparently, George just put his fourth engine that he has in the car after qualifying yesterday, which means for the rest of the season, I'm sure if they've gone through four engines with 11 races, they're going to exceed that allocation. Lando Norris did last week at Spa. He had to take his fifth engine, which gave him a 10-place grid penalty. So that is sure to happen to George at some point throughout the rest of the season, but apparently there's no penalty as of right now. So he's still, was it seventh he's starting at?
I I believe it was seventh. I thought also, that some of the Parc Fermé rules would come into play there since
That's
you're
what I thought.
modifying the car. But I guess if it's not an upgrade, maybe I'm not sure. I'm not sure why. I thought if you touch the car at
Like,
all,
yeah, that's what I
made any
thought.
changes once,
But I guess
even
it's
before between practice and qualifying, right?
I guess as far as the engines go, as long as it remains in the same spec as the previous engine, that it's not actually changing anything. So
I don't not sure that they swapped out the whole power unit. I can't. I'm not exactly sure what happened there. So
um
I thought what I had seen, on Instagram, that he had like the engine had been compromised. Like he cracked the block or
yep,
something like that,
it
and that
was
was
leaking
coolant that
water
was
or
leaking
fluid or
out.
something. So yeah.
So that would obviously you need a whole new engine for that. But if it was just a maybe a hose or something like that, I guess maybe we can get away with it. But it'd be interesting to see if we get any more information on that during this race.
So with the penalties that did come, we had Lewis Hamilton had a three-place grid drop for impeding Oscar Piastri, which we didn't see on the live footage, but they did before the qualifying ended yesterday, after they had their little interviews on the podium. Remember when Lewis said his mind was elsewhere because he was concerned because he didn't know if he impeded or not? Well, they showed his on-board footage, and you definitely see when he was coming through one of the turns, he took the inside of the corner, and Oscar Piastri rolls right up behind him and had to come to almost a complete stop.
Yeah,
And
for sure. Interesting. Yeah, there was some audio. They had some of the team radio too, where he seemed a little surprised. So whether or not it was
yeah, Lewis even asked,
strategy,
he was like, is he on a flyer? He didn't even know.
mhm.
That's
Ferrari strategy, or
yeah. That's, to me, it seemed like a lapse in judgment on Lewis's engineer, because it's literally his job to
yeah,
watch the track map and warn him of any cars that are coming up to him quickly when he's on a cooldown lap.
yeah,
And that didn't happen.
yeah. It was certainly an interesting outcome to that.
And then, of course, Kimi Antonelli also receives a 3-place grid penalty because Max Verstappen, once again, with that friggin' flipping rear wing, I mean, it's at this point, it's hard to know if it's 100% a technical issue or if he's just not deploying it correctly because let's the elephant in the room here. Isaac Hadjar is not having these same problems, even though he has the same car.
Yeah, there's something to be said for that for sure. Is it a driver thing? Is it is it him with the wing? Is it the wing design? You would think that you sent me kind of offline last night a graphic that really kind of goes through the whole. There's several teams that use that Macarena wing design, and what you sent me, it was a McLaren, Ferrari, and Red Bull.
Mm-hmm.
I think we're in that, and I think everybody else's system, that being Ferrari and McLaren, their system just looks stronger.
Yeah.
It looks more robust. It looks like it's a fairly small, narrow rod that controls the Red Bull wing. And you mentioned yesterday that it might not be able to overcome that.
You could definitely see in that design that the McLaren does have the outward flipping. Because right now the Ferrari is the only one that flips over the top. Both the McLaren and the Red Bull flip from underneath. But if you notice that little control rod that you just mentioned, that actuator that pulls it closed, the one on the Red Bull is at a much higher fulcrum than the one on the McLaren. It seems like it has better leverage because it's positioned lower.
Yeah, the system overall just looked a lot more robust. It looked like it was, it's an animated graphic, so who knows if it's what the scale is on it, but it looked, in that graphic anyway, like it was a far more robust, stronger system.
I still maintain the biggest problem with that thing, the reason why Ferrari's works is because theirs flips from over the top to close, which means once it hits a certain point to like here, the flow of air over the wing is going to push it closed.
Yeah, it's assisting it. The other ones that open from the bottom,
yes, they open from the bottom and have to come up, and then the air comes through, and the air is going to slow down that making a tight seal, which is going to be a downforce loss.
Yeah. Well, going back to like the driver aspect of it, you would think that Red Bull would just give Verstappen the car that he can perform the best in, right? Like, sure, maybe Isaac Hadjar doesn't have the same issues with the wing that Verstappen does, but he's their number one driver. I think that they should be give him the car and the wing that suits his driving style, right? I mean, you're trying to put him on a podium, and he spun out a couple times this season.
It still finished fourth in qualifying yesterday, despite not even crossing the finish line.
It's not a driver talent issue, but that wing deployment. And I think, and
I've had people online, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but
not at all. Go ahead.
I've had people online say like, oh, it's definitely a driver issue because he needs to close that wing faster before he enters the turn. And I've been like, I don't think you understand how that wing works because you manually activate it when you cross the straight line zone. But it's supposed to, if you choose to, you can manually close it. But what it's supposed to do is the minute you lift off the throttle or step on the brake, it snaps shut. And it's not doing it quick enough.
Yeah. Well, it could be, the difference between where he, I think it'd be interesting to see the telemetry on that, right? Between him and Isaac and see if it's if he's going a little bit hotter into the corners.
If he's carrying more speed into the corners or trying to do, because we all know Max prefers to brake late. That's how he does so many overtakes in the corners, is he brakes late into the braking zones. And this style of wing with that downforce may not work.
Yeah, but you got to give him, especially with all the drama surrounding him and how vocal he's been about the car. You would think like, hey, it's just time to give the guy the wing design that he, that suits his driving style, and let's get him on the, because the cars don't have to be exactly to spec. Obviously you saw that last week where
Yeah, they
Arvid
ran the old
Lindblad
spec.
got the Red Bull ran the old spec. Arvid Lindblad on the Racing Bulls got upgrades that Liam Lawson didn't get.
Mm-hmm.
So the cars they don't have to run two of the exact same car.
But
Uh,
despite all the Red Bull drama and what happened yesterday, the reason why we even got onto that tangent is because right after Max's spin, Kimi Antonelli came rolling through on his flyer lap to set his time, and apparently the yellow flag was out because Max was off. And now I've watched the onboard, I haven't seen the telemetry, but Kimi did lift for the yellow, but apparently the FIA determined he didn't lift enough. So traditionally, the standard penalty for ignoring a yellow flag is a 5-place grid penalty, but they kind of, I'm not sure the word I want to use, but they didn't slap his wrist as hard, basically, because they figured, okay, he did attempt to lift, but given the short notice and the limited space that he had, it wasn't enough. So rather than give him the full 5-place grid penalty, they gave him 3.
Yeah, that's the. I think that there's been some odd enforcement of the rules. Even last week, was it Leclerc that got a 5-second? No, yeah, it was Leclerc. Leclerc for impeding or his collision with Piastri last week, and then 4 or 5 days later they come out and say, okay, you should have had a 5-second penalty.
Yeah,
like the. It is, I guess, one of the more frustrating things to look at or with watching this sport is that, geez, you got to watch all week. You got to pay attention all week to figure out because, penalties are assessed whenever the FIA feels like it, I guess.
Yeah.
So it's kind of interesting in that regard. So, but, it didn't look like Antonelli he was on I believe it was the last turn or the second to last turn when that yellow came out. So.
Yeah, it was the final turn.
Mm-hmm.
He was right there, right before he had reached the final turn, the yellow came out because he was right behind Max when it happened.
And, I got to tell you, honestly, it might have been the right call to, you look at it like a mistake, but he was out of the top 10 at that point, prior to that lap. So better to push up into fourth was what he originally had, and then take a 3-grid spot penalty.
Even a 5-grid spot.
Yeah, start at 11th. It's still a net gain.
Yeah.
For him.
I remember that reminds me of years ago, Max did something similar where he overtook somebody illegally. He went off track when he overtook them. But his pace was so much faster than the other cars that he was told to either give the position back or he would get a 10-second penalty. But with his pace, with his number of laps that were left, he was going to basically outrun the penalty anyway. So they were like, "Don't bother letting him by, just keep going." And he over the radio, he's like, "Yeah, that's fine. Send them my regards."
Yeah. Yeah, so sometimes, I guess, like you said, overall a net gain for Antonelli. He needed that, and there's no telling what if he'd slowed down properly, if that would have cost him even a top 10 start.
One last thing, because we're getting ready to get underway here. I think the formation lap is just a few moments away. One final thing we need to discuss is all the drama that happened with the races in the beginning of the season. Due to the conflict going on over in the Middle East, we missed both the Bahrain Grand Prix and the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix in Jeddah. That did not happen due to that. And now as of right now, we're still in question on whether or not Qatar and Abu Dhabi are even going to happen. But there was rumors that the FIA may try to use tracks that aren't currently on the calendar to replace some of the ones that were missed. As of early this morning, it has been announced that in October, between the Azerbaijan and the Singapore Grand Prix, we will be returning to Malaysia for the Malaysia Grand Prix at the Sepang International Circuit, which has not been on the Formula One calendar since 2017.
Yeah, I think another option they have is to rerun some tracks. I wouldn't mind seeing Spa again.
Well, the biggest issue, I've seen so many fans be like, oh, why don't they go here? Why don't they go there? Why don't they do this? And it's like, you have to understand the logistics about moving all of the stuff that these teams take all over the globe. Like, these races are set up months and months in advance.
Yeah, absolutely.
So if there isn't time to reroute and ship stuff to the other side of the planet, before the race comes, then it ain't happening. So, but I guess we're going to Malaysia, which is going to fit in right in between Azerbaijan and Singapore. So, but with that, we need to get over to the other screen because the formation lap is underway. Alrighty. And we have our starting grid there. Lando Norris out front, Charles Leclerc, Oscar Piastri, and Max Verstappen in fourth. Hamilton drops down to fifth. Antonelli drops behind George Russell at 6th and 7th, and then we have Isaac Hadjar, Arvin Lindblad, Nico Hulkenberg, and Liam Lawson at 11th, and then, the other guys. But big news that came out of qualifying yesterday, Fernando Alonso made it into Q2 and is starting in 16th with that upgraded Aston Martin.
Yeah, Alpine's having a great showing, too, last couple races. Alpine's really turned it on. Become kind of a bit more of a contender. I wanted to go back. We were watching the formation lap getting ready to kick off here, and you see how shiny those tires are. And it made me think back to last week with Hamilton's penalty for the mechanic.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? And to me, like in all the replays, it looks like the guy's arm literally stuck to the tire. Like he was trying to peel away. Hamilton was going.
Apparently, what he was trying to do was, if you remember, right afterwards, Hamilton asked if they made an adjustment to the front wing.
Yeah.
And they said, no, we didn't get it done. And then he was complaining because he had massive amounts of understeer. But because he had that 5 second penalty, the mechanics aren't allowed to touch the car while it has to sit there in its pit box for 5 seconds. And then when he went to do it, he went to change the front wing after they had changed the tires, but at that point, the lead mechanic had already given Hamilton the go signal. I guess somebody just forgot, oh yeah, we're adjusting the wing too.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I expect Ferrari to do pretty well in this race. Obviously, where they're placed on the grid right now, and then I think that this track's really going to suit the Ferrari's cornering.
Yeah, especially the way they've got their suspension set up, it's definitely geared for Ferrari. All right. As we get the last couple of Cadillacs coming around, there's the medical car coming up behind.
Interesting to see what Mercedes does. I think I fully anticipate the worst finish for Antonelli all season. Well, aside from a DNF.
There's the green flag. We're set at the back. All right, here we go. 1 light, 2 light, 3 light, 4 light, 5, and we're off. Orlando's got a big jump. Oh, and Oscar too. It's a McLaren 1-2 going into turn 1. Here comes Hamilton around Leclerc on the outside. Max going up the inside into turn 2. Max goes defensive on Leclerc. He's got Ferraris on either side of him.
Oh, Piastri
takes the lead.
I knew we'd have an eventful start, but
holy! Lewis and Max are going wheel to wheel in every corner.
Yeah. Well, it's a dangerous game because I think that Ferrari outhandles that Red Bull every time. I'll see. It'd be interesting to see if Max can hold on to P3.
I'm just wondering if Max can make it through the final turn.
Yeah.
Oh, George Russell botched the start. He must have let his clutch out too quickly and hit kicked in the anti-stall. Where is he? Oh, he's down in 20th. He lost 14 places.
Man, that guy's having a rough season. I mean, for his being on the podium and winning some races, he's still fighting every race.
Yeah, George just wants to get through this race.
Yeah. Well, like Lewis Hamilton's going to step further away from him. I mean, that's the big deal is he's got to stay really close to Hamilton. Because I mean, to even have a shot at Antonelli,
yeah,
he's got to be super. Super
where are
on
they?
Lewis Hamilton.
Where are they in the points right now?
Still like a 30-point jump, right?
Antonelli's got like 55 points on Lewis, and then George is 5 points behind. 5 points behind Lewis. He's going to be a lot more of this race if he doesn't get up into the points.
Yeah, that's exactly exactly it. Is he may chip away at Antonelli's lead, but Lewis Hamilton's going to catch up. Well, he's not chipping away at Antonelli's lead at 20th. That's for sure.
The DNF last week just killed him.
Yeah.
Especially when Antonelli ended up winning. That's a 26-point swing.
Yeah. Well, there's also a lot of season left, right? So.
Oh, yeah. Anything can happen.
There's going to be Antonelli's going to run into some issues as well.
Max was in like 6th place in the Constructors last season by this time, and then he only lost the championship by 3 points by the final race. Oh, poor Lucy.
Oh, God, I know.
Hers
so dramatic.
Meanwhile, Nanook's sitting behind me just completely unconscious. What is going on with the timing here? It keeps refreshing.
This is a cool shot.
Man, Oscar's running away. Is that gap between him and Lando is growing?
Yeah, good for him, man.
Oscar's been quiet most of this season.
He sure has, and wouldn't be bad to see him on a podium at all.
Forcing another off the track between Fernando and Ollie.
Noted. We'll hear about that Thursday.
Lance Stroll, friggin' track limits over and over and over. He just can't keep that car on the track.
No, did they say Lawson's ahead of Lindblad?
No further investigation between Alonso and Behrman. Lawson and Lindblad are currently neck and neck.
Yeah, but Lawson's got the jump on him.
Yeah, he's up to 8.
It looks like he's up at a second and a half, maybe more over Lindblad, over 2 seconds.
Okay, here they go. Yeah, we got.
He's got a huge gap.
He's got Nico Hulkenberg behind Lindblad. I don't know what McLaren did to upgrade their cars before Spa, but now that they both got decent engines in there and it's not an energy-starved track, those McLarens are flying.
Yeah.
I knew I should have worn my orange today.
Man, I can't believe I'm stunned about the Ferraris. Like I did not see Piastri leading the race. I thought it'd be definitely a battle between Norris, Clerk, and Lewis Hamilton, but it's not turning out that way at all.
I was surprised to see Max move up into third.
Yeah, it was a eventful start. Of course, not as eventful as last week, but
No. Sounds like somebody riding a bicycle in your living room with a squeaky wheel.
Yeah, I know. Your squeaky wheel. Come on. All right, lay down. Lay down. That's crazy. That is a dirty track. Holy cow.
I'm reading the transcripts from the radio messages, and Max said, "That's just horrendous. Turn one, horrendous." He says, "Also, again, the dampening failed for sure. Car's pretty effed." And his engineer just said, "Understood,
they
Max."
bumped. Yeah, Hamilton and Verstappen just said, "Looked like a little contact."
You also have to bear in mind the source too, because if Max says the car is completely crap and undrivable, it's probably still better than 3/4 of the cars out there.
Yeah, he's still sitting in third place.
He just has very high demands on the car.
Yeah. I have a theory that Mercedes is sabotaging George Russell.
They're saying it now. Ooh, Lewis tried to go up the inside on him in the final turn. Yeah, Lewis is all over him. He's not getting away from him.
No, the Ferrari's going to outhandle the Red Bull. I mean, now it's a driver's problem, right? Now it's completely on Verstappen to pilot that thing around the track, and we'll see if he can do it. He's arguably the most talented driver on the track. So if anybody can do it, it's Max Verstappen.
Can he do it cleanly is going to be the trick. Interesting. In that sequence, I was watching the overlays on Lewis's halo there, and when he was on that last little straight before the chicane, he wasn't full throttle. I wonder if that was just the technique for that, or if he was literally only giving it partial throttle to try to recover some battery.
I don't know. There's not a lot of opportunity on this track to pass. Those the other. Speaking of Instagram graphics, there we had that one that compared the size of the cars over the last 20 years. And I thought about this as I started watching F1, like how tiny the tracks are. Like the track is like a single lane road. It's fairly narrow, a lot of them. And I think it worked better when you had smaller cars. Like it was probably a little more
back in the old days in like the 70s and 80s, the Formula 1 cars were basically just oversized go-karts.
Yeah.
Whereas nowadays, they're bigger than road cars. They're twice as big.
Yeah.
But the tracks haven't changed. They're still racing on the same tracks they raced on 50 years ago. And it's like,
It's interesting too that both the McLarens on medium tires Well, with the Verstappen too, but the Ferraris, I guess, really being on those soft tires, like they're going to have to pit sooner. And I think that's going to, if Verstappen can hold off on Hamilton through that first tire change, it's going to be a real problem, I think, for Lewis.
Well, I think that's the main reason why Lewis hasn't really been able to gain ground on Max just yet, is because they're almost 10 laps in. Those softs are fading. Any advantage the softs would have had over the mediums is gone by this point.
Yeah, except for the durability, right? The how long they're going to last. So Ferrari's definitely going to have to pit before.
What McLaren has to worry about is the undercut, because if Ferrari, I wonder if they're going for a one-stop here. Because if Ferrari tries to make those last to, like, maybe say another 5 to 10 laps, they're surely going to go to hards, and they would just have to try to make up that time loss so that they could cross the start-finish line before McLaren gets out of the pits on their stop.
70 laps has got to be a two-stop race, no?
You would think. I don't know. I mean, especially since they started on the softs.
Yeah.
They've got to be thinking two-stop.
Yeah, then hard, then medium, you think? So soft, hard, medium? Well, we'll see a virtual safety car here.
Depends on what they've got. I mean, they only have to change their tires once, like the compounds. So depending on what they still have that they didn't use in practice, they could go medium or medium hard or even hard. I don't know why you would go hard, but
George Russell back up to P12.
And Oscar's just driving away. He's he's a second and a half ahead of Lando.
Lando's closing the gap. He was at one point over, I think, just over 2 seconds ahead of him. So Lando's finding his groove, but this is definitely maintaining that second and a half, 1.4, 1.5 second gap.
How Lando got his groove back?
Hey, up to 1.3. Yeah, man. Interesting call with Ferrari on the soft tires, because Antonelli's right there. Hadjar, right? So he's in a Red Bull too, so he's going to give Ferrari problems. Interesting.
Yeah, I was kind of surprised to see Ferrari start on the softs.
Because this is like the second time they've done that, right?
Yeah.
Started and kind of their tire strategies kind of.
I mean, the thing that I don't get with Ferrari when they full commit like that, like maybe start one on the softs and the other on the mediums and see, you do an offset strategy so that way you have options.
Well, honestly, I thought they were my inclination would be that they started soft because they thought they were going to get the jump and get an early lead.
Yeah,
and then
it didn't happen.
I think the Ferraris would walk them on as tight as this track is with all the curves. I think they were really counting on their handling advantage to build a gap. So, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. I mean,
yeah, I think they must have been considering that, given that the suspension was already giving them a speed advantage in the corners. Yeah. They must have thought the added grippiness of the soft tires would have just added to that, and they would have been able to build a gap if they got the jump off the start, but it didn't happen.
No, yeah, the McLarens took him to school. Oscar Piastri, though, dang, what a piece of driving.
Yeah, it's coming down though. It's now 1.2.
Yeah.
Lewis is complaining that Max is slow. Well, then why don't you overtake him?
I think his tires are done, man. Yeah. I think you called it, like the soft tires. Yeah, there's just not a lot of spots to overtake on this track.
There isn't. There really isn't.
And it's Max Verstappen, so that's a risky pass.
I don't care how crap that car is, Max is never going to give up position easily.
Yeah, exactly. Right, so
it's like, how bad do I want this overtake? Am I willing to risk my car to do it? Because that's what's at stake. Yeah, you could see when they were showing the cam, showing the rear wing, those rear tires were like a lot of chipping on the outer edge.
Yeah.
The medium tires are falling apart, which means Ferrari's softs have got to be like melting. I'm thinking lap 15, we're going to see at least one of the Ferraris dive in.
Oh, yeah.
I don't see them making it 20 laps on the softs.
Well, I mean, Verstappen must be really slow because even on soft tires, Hamilton's still like half a second behind him. So,
Max's engineer just told him that his last lap was the same pace as the McLaren's. Oh, Alex, where you going, buddy?
oh, man, they are all over the curb here. Jeez Louise.
Yeah.
That's got to feel terrible too, like being the driver in that, like, because the suspension's made to keep the tires on the track.
I'm telling you,
for driver comfort.
I'm telling
not
you, man.
At all.
Since I added haptics to my rig, holy crap! Like, you go over those curbs now, and like my feet and my wrists are like, oh man.
I'm gonna let the dog out. I'll be right back.
Yep. What I say? For lap 14, Lewis goes in. Yeah, Lewis is hoping to undercut Max so that way he doesn't have to worry about battling him. He has to. They'd be stupid if they... What is he on? He's on the hards. Goes around the outside! Yep. Yeah, they're definitely trying to cover off Lewis. Avoid the undercut. Max is on hards now. Come on, Max. Come on, Max. Come on. There's Lawson. Go, 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 go! Oh shit, they're gonna be side by side. Oh, it didn't work. Yeah. Hamilton getting by Arvin Lindblad allowed that to happen. Valtteri Bottas is retiring. That's one Cadillac out. He was able to get back to the pit, so there won't be a yellow flag. That was actually really cool the way he did that using. Oh my god! Max! Oh my god! Well, how much of his battery did he use? Because can he hold off Lewis? He said deterred. Man, you must be stunned. You're so quiet. Oh, that's why. Why do I don't have a mic?
Oh, my bad.
Huh.
I stayed on mute.
Oh. Don't worry about her.
My gosh. Now she's outside now, so now she's whining to get back in, but she has to get her diaper put back on her. So
All right, so the pit lane is now clear. They've gotten Bottas's car out of the way. I think Lewis didn't expect Max to go for a double overtake. That was what happened.
well,
there.
I think he Max Verstappen said it was a good result, but brakes didn't work.
No, I think he was saying
slow
that
enough.
Lewis moved under braking. Was the complaint that he was making.
Mm.
Because you're allowed to make like one move off the racing line to block somebody, but you can't do it once you're in the braking zone.
Antonelli in the lead.
The McLarens are behind Max. Behind
Good,
Hajar. Yeah. Hold him up, Isaac.
They should have held up Hamilton. That was his job. Oh, it wasn't him. It was Lindblad, right? That Hamilton walked around. Yeah. Yeah, Lindblad should have tried to slow down.
Yep. Attaboy. This is I had hoped, as much as everybody complains about these new regulations, I had hoped that this whole new battery thing was going to make this track interesting, because last year it was boring as hell because it was basically just a parade. No overtakes, nothing. As bad as Monaco. And we've definitely had some action so far this race, and it's not even a third done yet. There we go. Oscar's going for the overtake. Oh, get over, get over, get over. Don't let him through on the inside.
I said he's on, whatever 20 lap old tires now.
Get out of the way, Isaac. Get out of the way and let Max through. There you go. Cut off Lewis. Beautiful. Now back him up. God damn.
Hajar's got no tires left, man.
I know. just made it look it looked way too easy. Like you could have given up a little bit of a fight.
He's got no tires left.
Man, look at all the marbles in the middle of the track.
Yeah, it's crazy. Oh, tire shreds, right?
Yeah, it's just the tires falling apart. Interestingly, the margins are so narrow where it comes to weight that after the race ends, when the drivers are on the cool down lap, they will drive around off the racing line and try to pick up as many of those marbles as they can on their tires to add weight back to the car.
Yeah. Man, Antonelli, we need to see him.
He hasn't pit yet.
Yeah, exactly.
But he's got a 12-second lead.
That's what I'm saying.
So, like,
he's
when
maintaining it. So
when he does pit, he's gonna come out maybe behind Leclerc.
yeah, there goes Piastri. Thinks that Mercedes is on the one stop.
Yeah, what's he? He's on mediums now, so he's obviously going to go to the hards. So yeah.
Yep.
George is up to 7th.
He's making it past Liam Lawson.
Well, he's gotten back to where he started. Took him 21 laps to gain those like 14 positions back.
Yeah. I'll be right back.
All right. Oh, a little slide. Yeah, Oscar. Yeah, the rear end of that McLaren looks so loose. Ah, they're finally calling Kimmy in. Oh, good stop. Good stop. 2.1 on that pit stop. You're muted, by the way.
Damn it. That's awesome. That's a great pit stop for Antonelli.
Just on a cursory glance, I did that. I did that pretty well. I said Antonelli, given his pace and everything and the lead that he had, he should come out probably behind Leclerc. Look where he is.
Yep. Oh, George Russell's still out on his mediums.
Yeah.
He's not using those tires anyways.
But the FIA board has been pretty quiet so far. It's just been track deletions or time deletions from drivers' track limits.
Yeah.
Nothing big going on. Lando, he tries to do that whenever it can benefit him. He tries that team order crap all the time. I'm faster. Tell Oscar to let me by. Nope.
Yeah.
If you're faster, earn it.
It's not that much. I mean, he's within a second. I don't think that means he's that much faster. Oh, there's track limits. He was totally off.
Exactly. Jolyon Palmer is exactly correct there. The only reason McLaren would want to listen to Lando and initiate team orders to tell Oscar to let him by is if they were in danger of losing position to one of the other cars. And right now, both McLarens are driving away from the field.
Yeah. Is Bortoletto still out on the same set of soft tires he started the race on, and
Yes,
Fernando Alonso?
I think so.
Wow.
Yeah, Bortoletto's got 23 laps on the softs, and so do Alonso, according to my timing sheet here. George Russell still has yet to pit. Fernando Alonso, Alex Albon hasn't pit. Bortoletto.
Carlos Sainz.
Sainz has pit. He did 18 laps on the softs, and now he's on 5 on the mediums.
Went to mediums?
Yep. And they're going for a 2-stop, obviously. There's no way the mediums are going to last for...
Well, everybody's on a 2-stop at this point. The hards aren't going to last 50 laps.
You wouldn't think. Apparently, Mercedes is going to try.
With Russell, perhaps. We'll see if he gets... he's got to pit soon.
Nope, nothing there. Let's see. Yeah, the gap between Max and Lando is 4 seconds at this point.
Yeah.
Where's Isaac? He's behind Russell, but what's the
Yep.
gap? He's 3 seconds behind. Russell's 13 seconds behind Antonelli.
Yeah. He's still on soft tire or medium. Is he on softs?
He's on mediums.
He's still on those medium
Yeah, he's
tires.
26. They got to be going for a one stop because otherwise, why would you keep him out on his original tires this long? They're hoping the hards will last to the end.
Well, if I can get 30 laps out of mediums,
Then you can get 40 out of a hard.
right?
They're calling Russell in now. .9. Ooh. A second and a half slower than Kimmy's stop.
Yeah, man. I think Mercedes is kind of dogging poor George.
Max has gained a little bit of time on the McLarens. It's still
Yeah.
a 4 second gap, but it was like 4.5.
Well, he's got plenty of race left to make up 4 seconds. I don't necessarily see that happening, but plenty of race left to get there.
Oh, oh, oh! Lando went off.
Yeah.
Max gained a second of time on Lando because of that mistake.
Oh, yeah. I'm surprised it was only a second because he was way off. I'm sorry, you said Bortoletto has not pitted yet and he's still on soft tires?
Yeah, Bortoletto's Alonso too. They're both on 28 laps on these softs.
Huh.
There, Gabby's in now. Thinking about it. They're calling Hamilton in? So they're gonna go to back to mediums or a second set of hards?
No, they did not adjust this wing. Huh.
Come on, Hedger, get out there. We'll do this again.
Gets by.
Hamilton's pitting, Oscar. We need to use pace now. Yeah, I don't have any. Wow, they're so close. What is McLaren doing?
Oh, Max made up a lot of time.
Fastest lap, Lewis.
Oh, no, you won't, Lando. Stop.
They're calling Oscar in first. 2.5
It's a good stop.
on old tires. Well, the prima donnas can all stop their whining because they all got what they wanted. Oscar Pitt and got out of Lando's way so he can run. Hamilton Pitt and got out of Charles's way so that he can run. They got no excuses anymore.
We'll see. We'll see how this goes. Kimi Antonelli's worming his way up through there, so we'll see. We'll see where he comes in if he's a bumps Leclerc off the podium. Leclerc.
Leclerc! I've noticed that. David Coulthard is talking about that. I always see. Most of the time, you can't see the exhaust coming out of these cars, but you can with the Ferrari. Like when they do the close-up track shots, it always looks like the back of the car is smoking.
Hmm.
You got Kimmy all over his ass right now.
Yeah, 100%. That's what I'm saying. Like, ooh.
Oh, Kimmy thought about it. He did a fake down the inside. I don't know if I'd be able to stand 70 laps of driving this track. I don't really like driving this track.
Yeah.
Did you get that Instagram reel that I sent you from the company I buy gloves from, where it showed how they like stamp the watch
Yeah.
on there?
Yeah, it's cool. It is cool. It looked like they had an anniversary. It was an anniversary glove you sent?
Could have been.
Let's see how much he moves up on Verstappen.
2.5 for Leclerc. Ocon, get the hell out of the way. You've been blue flagged. Move. There's a really big U-Haul backing in front of my driveway, probably to one of my neighbors.
Uh-oh.
Oh,
Can I help you, Nosy?
um, I
What? In the friggin' little window. Why are we seeing it in the... He's out. He's out. Is he still running? Okay, he is still moving. It looks like the feed just froze.
I didn't even see it. So I don't know.
Oh, here we go. Get a replay.
It wasn't too bad.
Yeah, that's what confused me when he said the friendship between the two. I was like, are Carlos and Oscar friends? I know Carlos and Norris are, but...
Oh yeah, Norris is going to come out ahead of him.
Oscar's gonna be so pissed.
I wonder if they'll penalty to signs then.
It definitely should be. Um, Turn 2 incident involving cars 55 and 81 noted. Turn 2 incident, it's under investigation. Okay,
What a shock.
so they're looking at it.
Yeah,
Whoa,
just the
whoa!
tires touched.
Behrman, what the hell?
Oh my God, he pulled back onto the track. He almost got.
Yeah, Carlos Sainz pulled a Lance Stroll there and didn't bother to check
Yeah.
his mirrors at all.
And Antonelli's not really closing in on Verstappen.
I was gonna say, most importantly, of everything else that's happened in the last 5 minutes, most importantly, Max Verstappen is leading this Grand Prix right now. Oscar basically telling his team to go F off.
Yeah.
I'm pissed. They're calling Max in. So we're gonna go on a new set of softs or a new set of hards. I mean, softs, softs. So this is what, a 3-stop?
Apparently. Not today, sucker.
He's gonna have to stop again. There's no way he's gonna do 18 laps on the softs. Sorry, 28 laps.
Yeah, 18 laps only gets him to 60.
Yeah, we're only on lap 42. There's still 28 laps left. .7 seconds. That means in another 2 laps, he should be right on him. So, in the same vein as this, I was playing a little bit of the F126 expansion last night.
Yeah.
And I tried something new in my career mode. Normally, I will continue to bring upgrades throughout the entire season.
Yeah.
And I'm doing a 10 race season. And I decided after race 6, Silverstone was race 6. And then after that, I stopped upgrading the car and instead just kept banking all of my points that I had earned in practice sessions.
Yeah.
So with like 2 races left in the season, they were like, "Oh, new regulations are coming next season."
Man. Are you seeing?
Yeah.
Sorry to cut you off, but the Verstappen questioning the tire choice.
Yeah. That's the same thing I said. But yeah, anyway, I normally will upgrade throughout the whole season, but I didn't. I started banking my points, and then suddenly with 2 races left in the season, they were like, "Oh, we have new regulations next season, so unless you want to lose these parts, you have to adapt them." And I went in to the thing, and there was a ton of parts for both the engine and chassis that needed to be adapted. But luckily, because I had been banking my points for like 3 races, I had enough to adapt almost all of them. Now
Nice.
during that season, my team was like third in the constructors as far as developing their car goes. I just started the first race of the next season. I'm right at the top. My car has more development than everybody because I adapted all of those parts. I was like, oh, it worked.
Nice. Yeah, there is some strategy, that comes into play for sure. Let's see if Antonelli can take out Norris.
5-second time penalty for Carlos Sainz for causing the collision.
Okay.
He's in 18th, so
Yeah.
who cares?
Yeah. I mean, yeah. Like, great. I mean, he deserves a penalty, right? So that he definitely earned a penalty there, but like, dang, man, like what an outsized impact.
It
Right,
doesn't.
because we talked the other week at Silverstone. I think we talked about the penalties are assessed based on the impact to the other driver, right?
No, actually, it's
Oh,
that's what they're not supposed to do is take the consequences into consideration. Like it's not supposed to matter what happens because of the collision, only the collision itself.
well, so I get that, but that was their whole logic for the penalty on Lewis Hamilton. Oh, get it back, Kimmy.
Switch back.
Keep it up. With Hamilton and Russell's collision last week.
Yeah, because
At Spa, why he got a stiffer penalty than
had they taken the fact that Russell had to retire because of that, then what it should have been was a 10-second penalty, but it wasn't. It was only a 5.
No, it was a racing incident. I mean, it was like I don't think there should have been a penalty assessed really probably at all.
No, not really.
Certainly George Russell didn't feel like that. He was pretty candid in all his post-race stuff about it. It's just a racing incident.
Luckily, with this incident that happened between Carlos Sainz and Oscar Piastri, it looked like all they did was bang wheels.
Yeah.
So it didn't damage either car.
Oh, God, Anthony had a nice chance there to just boop.
Kimi can't afford a DNF and lose ground to Lewis in the championship.
He's 50 points ahead. Hamilton's not even in this race.
But with Hamilton being in 4th, that 50-point lead would almost cut in half.
If Hamilton wins.
No. When being in 4th, he's still going to get like 18 points.
Yeah, that's a third of his, a little more than a third of his lead. He's got the points. He could have taken out Lando Norris.
I don't think.
I'm just saying.
I don't think they're concerned with Lando Norris, and seeing as how Mercedes has won every race this season.
Yeah. Well, they're a contender in this one too. Like Lando's got to keep it on the track, and he's gone off piste, as they say.
Lando's currently 5th in the standings behind Charles Leclerc. He's 101 points behind Kimi.
Inside the driver's helmet cam is unsettling. Yeah. Because the camera doesn't, like, your eyes moving your head to track the horizon. The camera
Yeah.
doesn't.
Yeah,
So it's like,
your
it's
eyes
like
have
riding a bull here.
your eyes have built-in gimbals, so you don't see
Yeah.
that much movement.
Yeah.
The camera doesn't have that.
Not at all. Yeah. It's like they're off-roading. It's like, is this an F1 car or a Jeep? Well, Norris is driving it like a Jeep, so we'll
I would like to see Budapest.
you should go.
Oh yeah, I'll just pack my bags.
You only live once, man.
My passport's still good for another year.
You should get it renewed.
I will. I got it right before I went to Asia, and I haven't used it since, but I kind of want to keep it just in case.
Yeah, for sure.
Even though technically now you need a passport to go to Canada, I still wouldn't even need it for that because I have an enhanced license.
Yeah, and they have the card now too. Like, you can use the passport card at I think the Mexican and Canadian crossings.
Mm-hmm.
So you when you go to renew your passport, you can just sorry, I was trying to hear what they said. Sometimes they show they do the
Yeah.
subtitles for it, and other times they don't.
I definitely am going to need to update my passport photo because I don't look like I did 10 years ago.
Fair enough.
I had a much bigger beard then and no gray in it.
Father Time is undefeated.
Champ.
Yeah, man. I have no idea what they're doing with those soft tires.
No,
Lawson and Lawson's on softs too.
Yeah, Max is losing pace badly. That was fantastic.
Which rhythm?
The rhythm of the night, Charles.
This is the rhythm of the car.
Now we're going to get a copyright strike.
It was a tribute.
Oh. Cadillac going out again. Safety car? Safety car?
Yeah, well, they said yellow flag, but
Yeah, I don't think he's going to be able to get back to the pits. I don't have the map tracker up to show me around the track where he is. Okay, yeah. He's got one more turn. Or two more turns, actually. Yep. Oh, yeah. Lost one of those push-pull rods on the front suspension.
Yep.
I got that goddamn song stuck in my head. Thank you.
Sorry. Blame Ferrari.
I can't believe that Kimi Antonelli is actually in a podium fight here.
I
Because
know it, right? It's wild.
he
It
started
is
so
wild.
far back, and it didn't seem like he was really gaining any positions. But the pit strategy has caused so much leapfrogging that he's right there. '53. So we've got what, 17 laps left? 18.
Mm-hmm. How is Bortoletto ahead of Lawson again?
The Audi's been good all weekend.
Man.
Oh, what are they telling?
Oh, man.
It's behind Leclerc. So everybody behind Gabriel Bortoletto is a lap down. So everybody, only the top 10 cars are on the lead lap.
Hmm.
I think the smartest thing Mercedes did was pairing Kimi Antonelli with Pete Bonington as his engineer when they brought him on board.
Yeah.
Because Bono, as he's known, when he first became an engineer at Mercedes, his driver was Michael Schumacher.
Ah.
And then when Schumacher retired, his driver was Lewis Hamilton.
Yeah, it was arguably the best engineer in the game.
Yeah,
Then.
Bono has engineered for the two most successful drivers in the history of the friggin' sport, and now he's Kimi Antonelli. So I'd be like, yes, please. I'll take that guy. Kimi don't want to hear that. He's a race car driver. He don't want to think about P2. He wants to win. Second place is just the first loser.
Go. Norris has got to stop again.
He's trying to build that gap. He's got almost 13-second lead on Oscar right now.
Yeah. Oh, they keep telling him to slow down.
Whoa! Oscar's retiring.
It's got a problem with the car.
Yep, he's out. He's pulling off. Safety car. Safety car. Gearbox is blown up. Come, there's got to be a safety car. Yep, virtual safety car.
Now Antonelli is gonna. Now Antonelli can crush Norris, unless he comes into pit now.
Lando could pit right now and not lose any time because they have to maintain that delta.
Yep.
Yeah, it's not shifting. Gearbox is screwed. Yep, Lando pits.
Verstappen should pit and get off those soft tires. He's fucking crazy.
They're telling him to only pit if the safety car comes out. Ferrari double stacking. Everybody going on to the softs.
13 laps left.
Yeah.
Makes a lot of sense. Everybody should pit and go on softs.
BSC is ending. They're saying that it's clear in Sector 6. And we're green. This is going to get spicy.
Yeah. It's going to be a race the last couple laps, huh?
Yeah, we got 14 laps to go, and the championship leaders are in third and fourth on fresh tires.
He doesn't have the car to get 5 seconds on Anthony.
No. Besides, by choosing to do that, see where he is now?
Mm-hmm.
He slowed down just enough so that Kimmy could get by him, but he's right on his ass.
Yeah.
Five-second penalty for Ollie Behrman for ignoring blue flags. Watch that gap between Kimmy and Max. It's 2 seconds right now. Or, no, I'm sorry. It's 8 seconds.
Dawson back into 10th.
Yep. Hulkenberg into 11th. We might actually, for the first time, I think, this season, we might get a double points finish for Audi if he can keep moving.
Yeah.
But the bigger news here, even though they're a lap down, both Lance Stroll and Fernando Alonso are not only both still in this race, but they are in 12th and 15th.
That's a great finish for Lance Stroll.
Lance Stroll in 12th right now with 11 laps to go? Holy hell.
Not on my bingo card.
Ooh. That was a big loss. Max has been on these softs for 21 laps.
Yeah.
And he has to go to the end because he pits now, it's over. I can't believe Oscar had to retire.
Well, I think the gearbox was probably part of the reason he was just falling behind Norris.
I would like to point out that the gearbox is also a part that they get from Mercedes.
Well, you got to wonder if it's just worn out or if it's a driver, like he just drove the car too hard, trying to get out in front, hang on to that lead. But
Hulkenberg. Oh
oh,
no.
Hamilton getting penalized.
Oh
for the,
no, if they slap him with another penalty. That could be a drive-through. A drive-through penalty right now will drop him down to like 7th place.
Yeah, because a huge gap. Well, I mean,
Yeah, because he'll be the only person he won't be able. The only person that won't be able to overcome that would be Lindblad because he's 36 seconds behind.
mm-hmm.
every race, Liam and Arvin freaking go at it. Meanwhile, Nico Hulkenberg is just loving it because he's catching them.
Mm-hmm.
Hamilton incident speeding. Oh, it's under investigation.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. No word yet. Oh, it did. We heard it. Oh, Jesus! Seven laps.
No, Antonelli can hold off Hamilton for 7. They're through the traffic now.
But all of this battling with the blue flags and everything is helping because Max is now 7 seconds ahead of Kimi. No word on Lewis yet.
Nice. Liam gets by Lindblad.
Hulkenberg up to 9th, but Bortoletto down to 11th, so still no double points yet for Audi. The standard penalty for speeding in the pit lane is a drive-through. And if they take much longer making this decision, they're not going to be able to assess the penalty, which means they're just going to slap him with a 20-second time bonus.
Mm-hmm. Well, it doesn't change anything. He's he's out in front of Leclerc by a good margin.
They may go lenient on him just because he gave the position back to Kimi.
So there's something to be said for that. But I think the pit lane speeding is a safety thing.
It is. But really,
So,
he wasn't speeding until he was outside the pit lane. He just hit the gas a little too early before he got to the white line.
yes, I'm sure they were in his ear that he had to beat Antonelli out.
Oh, Lucy.
I know. I know. I haven't devoted 100% of my attention to you.
She wants to go play lacrosse.
I had to order new lacrosse balls for her.
And she eat the other one?
I don't know. There's I ordered 6 of them a few months ago, and I don't know where they
Oh,
are.
here it is. 5-second time penalty for car 44, which is nothing because he's 20 seconds ahead of Leclerc.
You don't need to go outside. You were just out. Stop your whining. Stop the whinies. Don't be gross. Don't be gross. 4 laps. I don't think Lewis has got the car.
No. No, I think it was a mistake going back on the softs because they showed that they didn't have enough pace with the softs in the first opening stint. But they may not have had anything else.
Yeah. I can't believe Verstappen's still out. What is he, 35 laps on
He's currently
soft tires?
his first stint was 14 laps on the mediums and then 27 laps on the hards, and now he's 27 laps on the softs.
Jeez Louise.
He's going to do more laps on softs than any other compound this race.
Well, then, honestly, this makes the case Antonelli didn't want to come in when he pitted on those softs before. So obviously the soft tires are doing really well on this track.
There's apparently
Verstappen's
not degrading as much as I thought.
Yeah, Verstappen's maintaining a really comfortable gap.
Max has got a 6-second lead on Kimi, and there's 4 laps left, so Kimi would have to go more than a second faster per lap to catch him.
This is where the Red Bull's engineers disable Max's wing.
Don't say that, please.
Well, technically, Hamilton's 5 seconds behind Antonelli, so
I think
he's got to get around him and then crush him.
I questioned it at first, but I think Max not pitting under the virtual safety car allowed this to where he could not only get second but keep it.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, like the tires are
because Kimi and
tires
Lewis
are holding up.
Kimi and Lewis and Charles all pitted under the virtual safety car.
Yeah.
We're gonna have a big break after this because this is the last race till the summer break. I don't think we have another race until like mid-August.
Fair enough.
Yeah, the next race is Zandvoort in the Netherlands.
Mm-hmm.
And it's August 21st through the 23rd.
Ooh.
Give us some time to practice up on our podcasting because we're going to be doing nothing but talking about friggin' news and everything going on during the break.
Yeah, we'll see if any of the Verstappen rumors come to fruition. Ooh, Lando Norris.
Where'd the feed go?
I don't know. Yep. Oh, there we go. We're back.
2 laps remaining. Max has still got a 4.5 second lead on Kimmy. Your boy's up to 8th place.
I know. I see that.
I need to get you a Racing Bulls hat.
There you go.
It's actually kind of hard to get your hands on the Racing Bulls merch because Red Bull owns the team. All of their merch
Yeah.
is through the Red Bull site, and it's like
Yeah.
90% Red Bull
Red
and
Bull,
10% Racing Bulls.
Racing Bulls, yeah. Here we go. Last lap. Max Verstappen, second place. Not on my bingo card, my guy.
Honestly, given the way practice and quali went, I was not expecting a podium for Max this race. But I'll take it. I will take it all day long.
This is a total upset for my picks. Maybe Antonelli I thought was always a contender, but I thought we'd see double Ferraris.
Yeah. I really was expecting a Ferrari podium at least, and I'm honestly, I am just happy that somebody other than a Mercedes is winning this damn thing.
No, Mercedes continues. He's on the Antonelli's on the podium, so it's a
black and white flag for car 5, Bortoletto. That's a penalty. That's a track limits violation.
Was that 5 seconds?
Yeah, usually.
Oh, that brings Gasly up to 11th then.
Lewis was only 4 seconds ahead of Leclerc, so that drops him down to 5th. Hajar 6th. And George Russell ends the race where he started, in 7th place.
Well, that's not catastrophic. I mean, it's not great for his points, but he has all the top drive. I mean, like if there's 6 guys to finish in front of you, it's those 6 guys. I mean, maybe minus Isaac Hadjar. But not bad. Not terrible.
But
George drove.
The upgrades worked. Aston Martin. You've got Fernando Alonso and Lance Stroll finishing 13th and 14th.
Yeah, Lance Stroll finishing.
That has not happened much this season.
I give the guy a bag on him a little bit.
He's probably so exhausted right now.
Driving an F1. Yeah, this is the longest he's had to, longest he's been in the cockpit for.
He's like, wait, what do you mean I have to do a second stint? What? The car's still working? Jesus, don't beat it now.
Oh no, it's the dog. The dog needs your butt pats. It's louder because she has her diaper on, huh?
Did you hear that?
I haven't heard his response yet.
He's like, how the beep? I got second today.
Yeah.
Oscar Piastri's retirement from the race is why Max got second, because that virtual safety car changed the game.
Yeah. It definitely bumped everybody up.
Double points finish for Visa. They got the Racing Bulls in 8th and 10th. Lawson ended up beating Lindblad even though he started behind him. "32 laps Max did on those softs to come in second."
Yeah, man. I don't. It's interesting. It's man. I don't understand. I don't know their tire calculus, but I think there's some of the tire changes, the compound changes, definitely.
All right, so the racing is done. All they have left to do is the podium and all of that, and the timing is done. So we are going to. I'm going to mute the race here, and I'm going to switch us over to our thoughts after the race.
Post-race thoughts. Yeah, well, like I was saying, I think some teams made some interesting choices with the tires. I guess it really, at the end of the race, didn't make a huge difference, except for Red Bull keeping Verstappen out on those ancient soft tires by the end.
I was completely questioning when I saw Lando come in, and then Kimi came in, and then Lewis came in. I'm like, oh, Max has definitely got to come in because he's on the softs. And then I saw on the transcriptions for the radio messages, GP was telling him, stay out unless the full safety car comes. I'm like, oh my God, they're keeping him out on these softs. But hey, that shows you why Red Bull has professional engineers and I'm not one of them. Because I made the wrong call.
Well, they're receiving a lot of telemetry, right? So he was way slower than Norris. So, obviously not putting as much stress on those tires, not tearing them up as much. So, I mean, I guess if you can hold what you got, maintain the pace, and, given the predictive, whatever algorithm they run to predict the tire wear. Antonelli, though, like Kimi Antonelli going from 8th up to 3rd place.
Still can't keep that kid off the podium.
No, you can't, man. It won't. I won't be beat. I can't be beat.
Balboa!
Yeah, just, drove his tiny little buns off the whole race, and had Lewis Hamilton breathing down his neck for a good part of that. So.
And then Lewis with another penalty. And this one, honestly, this is a stupid penalty. Speeding in the pit lane. I mean,
it's a stupid penalty to incur.
That's what I mean. I don't mean, yeah. I'm not saying it wasn't deserved. I mean, the fact that he
so last week he got
penalized
in the pits again, I think I don't know if it's a Lewis Hamilton problem or if it's Ferrari telling him when to get on the gas, because both of those things are about his, pushing down on the right pedal at the wrong time.
I mean, they have a pit limiter button on the steering wheel for a friggin' reason. You dive into the pits, you press that pit limiter button, that way your throttle can't go over a certain amount of RPMs, and you don't release that button until you've crossed the white line at the end of the pit lane.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's hard to say. Hard to say what's going on there. He's had a lot of penalties in the last 2 races, and that's really started to cost him. I know he's in the hunt for the championship. So, now is the time, going into the second half of the season to get really aggressive. I think maybe he's just getting on it a little too soon. I don't know.
So our final tally as it stands right now with no, I don't think there's going to be any penalties yet to come that could change the positions. But we have Lando Norris in P1, Max Verstappen P2, Antonelli in 3rd, and then Charles Leclerc and Lewis Hamilton in 4th and 5th, Isaac Hadjar in 6th, George Russell 7th, Liam Lawson in 8th, Nico Hulkenberg in 9th, Arvin Lindblad in 10th, and Gabriele Bortoleto in 11th, just missing out on that point for 10th place. So almost a double points finish for Audi, but just missed it by 1.
Still, it's not quite their best finish, right? They've had a podium this year, I thought.
Audi,
Maybe
no.
not. No. Yeah, so the best finish for Audi this season.
I think so far. Yeah, I don't think I think it's the first time because Nico Hulkenberg has had a lot of retirements. Because I mean, Audi's still this is Audi's first year. I mean, everybody kind of forgets that because Audi was Sauber, they were like, oh well, they just repainted the car and took on a new title sponsor. Like, no, they're also first time ever using that engine.
Yeah.
So they're almost in the same boat as Cadillac. They've had more time to develop the aerodynamics and the chassis and everything of the car because it is still the Sauber car with it, but it's got a whole new engine in it. So I think 9th and 10th is a really good result for them. Or
Yeah.
9th and 11th, I mean.
Well, anytime you can get close to the top 10, especially in your first season in a new car, I think it means you're on to something, right?
And then we have going further, obviously, you got Aston Martin making a decent showing this time, but you go further down the board. Hell with that. Friggin' Williams, oh my god. Alex Albon and Carlos Sainz, 17th and 18th, but Carlos Sainz doing some of the stupidest driving I have ever seen him do. Just almost completely taking out Oscar Piastri and himself for what? He was in like 16th place, I think, at the time, and had a blue flag forever. What are you racing?
No,
Get the hell out of the way.
In his defense, I know they said they were having a lot of problems this race with the blue flags, the blue flag system. So
all he had to do was look in his mirror and see an orange car behind him and knew, I ain't racing this guy. I need to let him by.
Well, and then he's got the team telling him that too, right? So it's interesting.
It was just...
I want to see what Max says here in the post-race commentary about the car.
All right.
No. There's very reserved comments from Max Verstappen.
Yeah, he knows he can't be as controversial as he used to be because last season the FIA started laying down all of these rules that, like, if you say anything against the FIA or against Formula One or swear or anything like that during interviews, then we're gonna fine you. So they basically censored him. But all right. Any closing thoughts?
Kind of an upset. I got to see. I saw Ferrari with at least one car on the podium for this. Didn't see. Mercedes was my dark horse for sure. So I think Antonelli always dangerous. Russell is always out there. Like, there's a lot of potential for him to do, I think, a little bit better than he did. I think the start really gave him a lot of problems, but I don't know that he had that Russell's car had the pace to keep up with anybody. Inside the top five. I certainly don't think he could have battled the Ferraris. I think the Ferraris, given a few more laps, Hamilton would have gotten around Antonelli. So, just a way. It's all interesting. Interesting finish to it. Not the way, certainly from qualifying and practice, not the way I saw it going down. Didn't see Piastri jumping out and leading the race for as long as he did.
No, and I certainly didn't see him DNFing either.
Yeah, shame that the car didn't hold up, but kind of an upset, I guess. But I guess that's what you get. It makes it a little more difficult to predict when you don't have Mercedes in the top three, in qualifying, starting in the top three grid spots.
Yep.
So, it throws off all my calculus, especially this season. So like they're either going to win or they're going to DNF. Like there's no in between with those guys. So what about you? How did you see it breaking down? And
I was at least I honestly was expecting. I think going into this, I was expecting to see a Ferrari 1-2 or possibly 1-3 with Lando Norris tossed in there. That was what I was expecting. I was full on expecting like Lewis Hamilton win, Lando Norris P2, Charles Leclerc P3, and getting instead Lando Norris, Max Verstappen, and Kimi Antonelli all on the podium was like, okay, all right.
Yeah, I didn't see Verstappen taking a podium at all, especially after that last round of qualies. I thought like it was going to be he's just going to fight the wing.
I know.
The entire race again.
After spinning out on the final lap of quali, I'm like, Max is going to go into this race pissed, and he's just going to drive angry the whole time. And but he somehow, the strategy paid off, and he was able to turn P4 into P2. So, as a Max Verstappen and Red Bull fan, I will take that all day long, but didn't see it coming. Other than that, I think the race was. Honestly, I thought it was pretty pedestrian because given the fact that this track is normally more like a procession. There's so little overtaking here. The fact that the new 50-50 battery split allowed for some unusual overtakes, but because of that unpredictability, I expected there to be more incidents and possible at least a safety car or two, and it didn't happen. The only time we got any kind of disruption was with the virtual safety car when Oscar Piastri's gearbox kind of crapped itself, and that was it for him.
Yeah, with as twisty as it is, I saw a lot more, Spa's start, where we just see a lot more bunching up in the corners.
Yeah,
a lot more contact than we saw. Potentially that's where I thought that Ferrari would get into trouble again. But Antonelli, going back to he was my dark horse in this just because he's Kimi Antonelli, and if I would have, if I had to put him on the podium, third is where I would have put him. I think the McLarens and the Ferraris this is track place of their advantages.
Mm-hmm.
Verstappen, though, my gosh, I didn't even see him in the top five. Just a wild, and
it just shows you
great strategy.
It just shows you too. Isaac Hadjar is P6, so the fact that Max finished 4 places ahead of him, that's just 100% the driver.
Yeah, and while we're on that, I'd like to talk. I wish they had more coverage of the battle between Lawson and Lindblad, because it sounded like it got really exciting there, and those last 10 laps with those guys. Lindblad ended up losing 2 positions, but I would have liked to seen. That's the one thing I'll say like about the coverage of the race is like they'll stick with like watching Lando Norris, Kimi Antonelli, and Max Verstappen, and there's a cumulative 15-second gap between Lando Norris and Antonelli. Like that's not where nobody's racing there.
Yeah.
I guess like the really a lot of the coverage on Antonelli was between Antonelli and Lewis Hamilton, but in 4 laps you're not going to make up a second and a half.
No,
and then plus the 5-second penalty. Like they should have gone back to those guys who are fighting in the. Not that 10th through 5th position. I think that's where the race is still happening.
That has been my biggest critique of the TV direction for Formula One for the last 2 seasons is they seem to 90% of the time prioritize the cars in the lead when they should be prioritizing the battling. Like if there's nothing going on at the front, show me the cars that are like bumper to bumper, wheel to wheel.
Well, yeah, and that's where everybody like started. The cars have challenges back there. That's where those those not necessarily top tier, but virtually top tier cars are going to run into, I think, their performance issues. And not necessarily the Racing Bulls. Very impressed. I don't know how they did last season, but they've had a car in the top 10. They've been in the points every race this season. So. pretty impressive and that Red Bull development team.
I would
guess.
have to fact check this. I'm just going off the top of my head, but I think Racing Bulls probably finished somewhere around 6th or 7th in the constructors, because I'm pretty sure Williams finished 5th, and I know they were behind them.
Okay.
So
an improvement there,
yeah,
right? I
so
mean, they're in the constructors. They're up there.
I mean,
where are they? Where's Racing Bulls in the constructors now?
Currently, 6th.
Okay, so
They are,
I guess, on par with.
They're probably going to move up to 5th because they were tied at 61 points with Alpine, but they both finished ahead of Alpine this race. So, because Gasly finished 12th and Colapinto finished 15th. So no points for Alpine this race, whereas Racing Bulls are going to get 4 points. So Racing Bulls is going to move up to 5th place in the constructors.
Nice. Yeah, so I guess always a contender. They must have even last season put guys in the put cars in the in the top 10.
See, in the last year too, I think the big reason why they're doing so much better this year is you've got Arvin Lindblad, who has stepped in to take the place of Isaac Hadjar, and Liam Lawson is stepping up and producing and winning points almost every race this season, whereas last season he was finishing out of the points almost every race that he finished, which wasn't a lot of them. Isaac Hadjar, whatever, he was pretty much the only one winning points last year.
Yeah. Lawson's performance this season, I think, has been fantastic.
Which is a shame, because it's almost a dead certainty at this point that he's probably going to lose his seat to the what's his name there, the Romanian driver that's coming up in Formula 2.
Well, we'll see. I mean, a lot of potential, for him to go to one of these developing teams.
Yeah, I definitely think that it would be a shame to have him just lose the seat completely. I think he could, if Racing Bulls does let him go, and obviously he's not an Isaac Hadjar and he's not a Max Verstappen, so he's not going to get the seat in Red Bull back. But if they do bump him out of Racing Bulls, I mean, I think it would be a shame to keep him on as a reserve driver. I think he should be driving a car.
If you're consistently finishing in the top 10, you're one of the top 10 in all of F1.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I think I'd be interested to see what he could do with a better car.
What do you think about this? They're already talking about Esteban Ocon losing his seat at Haas, and they've already talked about potentially bringing in Yuki Tsunoda, who is a reserve driver at Red Bull, to replace him, because one of the major title sponsor for Haas is Toyota, and Toyota wants a Japanese driver in there.
Yeah.
What about Liam Lawson instead? I think he might be a better fit at Haas than Yuki would.
I think he's arguably a better driver than Yuki Tsunoda. It would be I think, like you said, I was saying, it's like some of these developing teams that, there's a lot of old dudes in the back of the grid too. I mean, like Lance Stroll's in his mid-30s. Carlos Sainz is as old as Lewis Hamilton.
He's a couple years younger.
Okay, but he's 40,
Carlos
right?
Sainz is definitely like the third oldest driver on the grid behind Lewis.
Yeah, so there's some. There's some guys who may be looking at retirement. You got
Nico Hulkenberg. How long is he going to be at Audi?
Yeah, there's it'd be interesting to see Lawson next season at Audi, because Audi seems to be getting their stuff in one sock. So they may be they beat a Racing Bull today.
Well, there could be some news within the next couple of weeks. Who knows? We may be completely wrong about this, because there has been rumors and talk about Carlos Sainz potentially leaving Williams and being courted by Audi. because Williams is not developing the car to where they should be. I mean, they went from being last place in 2024 to being fifth place in 2025 to now being right back at the bottom again in 2026.
Yeah. Well, so ideally, like I'd like to see Hamilton win the championship so he can
Just
retire.
so he can, yes.
So he can retire. Retires the greatest driver in F1 history and free up a seat.
I'll meet you halfway on that. I would definitely like to see Lewis Hamilton retire, but I really don't care if he gets another championship.
I don't, but my thought there is that he is going to drive until he is, I mean, like either really too old or he wins. I think he's chasing that other championship. He's in striking distance now.
I guarantee you right now he's looking at he's using as the benchmark the fact that Fernando Alonso is still there doing it. Because Fernando Alonso is going to turn I think he's going to turn 45 soon. He's like 4 to 4.5 years older than Lewis. So Lewis is thinking if Fernando can stay in, so can I.
Well, Fernando can hang at the back of the grid. I mean, yeah, if that's, I just I don't know, man. There's such a bottleneck in F1. And I'm sure it's like that. It's like that in the NBA. People want LeBron James to retire, so but there's such a talent disparity in other sports.
I mean, you have so many different feeder leagues between F4, F3, F2 to get up to Formula One, but then there's only 22 seats.
Yeah, so every year you hang over 40 is you're jamming up,
I guarantee you right now there's probably a dozen young drivers that have never gotten a chance in Formula One just because guys like Lewis and Fernando are still there.
Yeah. And, it's still Lewis Hamilton's still lighting up the track, not the worst, but certainly not. This is a constructors. I don't see as Red Bull Ford. I didn't see. I guess they call. I don't know. Sorry, I was distracted. They had the constructors points.
Oh.
And,
well, before this race,
didn't have Racing Bulls broken out on it.
Oh, Red Bull is currently sitting in fourth. So. If Red Bull's not gonna overtake McLaren with their out finish today, so Racing Bulls getting the points that they got are gonna put them one place behind Red Bull, 4th and 5th.
Hey, not too shabby. But you also have the Verstappen rumors. Where's Verstappen gonna go?
I honestly don't think he's going to go anywhere. If he does say enough's enough, I'm sick of Red Bull, I'm sick of dealing with all this crap, they're not providing me the car that they want, then he's just going to skip out.
I think if he leaves Red Bull, he leaves F1.
He's never going to get the freedom to race in other classifications like he does with another team because they're never going to allow him to risk himself somewhere else.
Yeah. So, interesting. And, it'd be interesting to see what how Mercedes feels about George Russell.
Yeah. George seems to say, my seat is secure. I'm still going to be here in 2027. But every driver would say that, even if they are in risk.
Yeah. And, at this point, I really think there's a little bit of favoritism that we're seeing. So it doesn't seem like Mercedes is prioritizing him.
Normally, you would say a team is never going to sabotage their second driver because they need the second driver to win the constructors. But at this point, Mercedes has the constructors wrapped up. They're like 150 points ahead of Ferrari. So it doesn't hurt them to mess with George a little bit.
Yeah, and I mean, he's obviously he's a very solid driver. I just don't know that I don't think Liam Lawson is better than George Russell. But I think he's another guy who's like seat is if you see a shakeup, like I think you see potential to see George Russell move out of Mercedes. I'm not sure who they'd bring in though to replace him if they can't get Verstappen or I don't think they'd pick Liam Lawson.
I don't know who the Mercedes even has, and like Mercedes has their own development program in like Formula 2 and stuff, but in the past when they've brought people up from that development program, they've had them drive at one of their customer teams. Like that's where George Russell came from. When George Russell first came up from Formula 2 for the first season or so, he raced at Williams. And then when they released Valtteri Bottas from Mercedes, they brought him up to fill the seat in 2021. Or actually in 2022. 2021 was the last year that Valtteri Bottas raced at Mercedes, and then they brought in George to replace him. And he's been there ever since. He was the number 2 to Lewis, and then when Lewis left, then now he's become the number 1 guy who is basically taking a back seat to the number 2 guy.
He's not their number 1 guy. Interesting. I mean, there's a lot of be interesting to see as we close out the season. Still a lot of season left. I mean, George Russell still could win the championship.
I mean, we still have
Lewis Hamilton could still win the championship.
We still have potentially 12 races, and after the next 3 weeks, we're going to have 4 more months of racing to go, so anything could happen.
Yeah. And the way, I think Mercedes is eating their cars, they're going to have a lot of more midfield starts.
I think a lot of people are. I don't think we're being reported on. Like every time you turn around when a car needs a new engine or a new battery, you're finding out that it's the last one that they have. So how many of these teams have gone through all of their allocation for parts to even get to the halfway point in the season?
Yeah. So, I think you see a lot of room to have that, the point standing now disrupted. Where's Verstappen in the points? 7th? 6th?
Max is 7th. That'll definitely go up now because Oscar Piastri was in 6th and he was only a point behind Oscar. So Oscar gets no points for this race and Max is going to get like 20.
Yeah, so he's in 6th. Who's in 5th? Lando? Not Lando. Is it Lando?
Just closed it. So first is Kimi, second is Lewis, third is George, fourth is Charles, fifth is Lando, sixth was Oscar, and 7th was Max.
Yeah, so I mean, like, still, it would be tough, but Verstappen's overcome, I think, bigger points deficits, right? Lewis Hamilton's at the front. Lando Norris not out of the hunt yet either.
Lando might actually jump to 4th place here because he was 23 points behind Charles Leclerc.
Oh, Leclerc finished 4th.
He finished off the podium, which is going to be a significant points difference between him and Lando. Lando winning and Charles finishing out with no podium.
Well, the win is worth what? 24 points?
24 or 26. I can't remember.
All right, let's say it's 26. And then 4th place is worth. I don't think it's enough to bump. I don't think it's enough to bump Leclerc.
Let me see what
Leclerc.
the points. All right, first place is 25 points. Second place is 18. Third is 15. Fourth is 12. So you're going to have a 13-point swing between Lando and Charles.
Yeah, so closes the gap for sure. But
and
still, like, you're 1 DNF.
So Charles is going to maintain a 10-point lead on Lando.
Yeah. So, I mean, I guess my overall point that between 2nd place to 7th place is not a huge. It's not a big gap at all.
No.
And then it's a long season. Antonelli's on fire now. If he loses, a couple of DNFs, his championship's gone.
Indeed.
And the competition that's in his rearview mirror, I think, is just too tough to. Not that I'm wishing anything on him. Love to see the kid win. Certainly don't want to see that, but I'm just saying, like, there's a lot of season left.
I know you were
And,
saying earlier in the season when we talked about it, you were thinking that like the worst thing that could happen for Kimi Antonelli is for him to win this year because it's only his second season, and you think it would be too much too soon.
there's some that you would have thought though, that would kind of hold true with as dominant as he's been this season. It just doesn't seem to be affecting him. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know what kind of sports psychology coach they have, or how they've developed him as a driver, but he's like cool as a cucumber, man. Like, it's bizarre how unbothered he is
To
to
me,
stand on a podium.
when I see him, when I hear him on the radio in the car, and I see him in interviews and everything, he legitimately seems like a kid that just is having fun and just wants to win. He's not thinking about the championship. He doesn't care about any of that. He just wants to win races.
Yeah. And so what is it? Where he DNF'd, not at Spa, at Silverstone?
Yeah.
No. Yeah.
No.
DNF'd. No, one before Silverstone.
Yeah.
It was before Silverstone. At any rate, like, he was pretty affected by that. I think anybody that DNFs, like, they don't do a lot of coverage, but it looked like he was
especially if you DNF because of the reliability of the car. The car just fails you because it's at no fault of your own. And it's like
George Russell.
I had a chance here and the car just crapped out on me. I'm pissed.
Yeah, George Russell's been crushed by that 2 or 3 times this season. So
Canada and then
Canada, Silverstone, and
then qualifying
Spa.
Yesterday.
Yeah. And
then of course Lewis taking him out at Spa.
Well, honestly, we'll go back to that. George says it's a car problem. He had some battery problems, and then the power unit failing this time. So probably,
And
we'll see.
What I maintain with that, like, here's what I don't understand. If you watch the onboard from that accident at Spa and you slow it right down, Lewis is on the inside of the corner.
Mm-hmm.
He's right on the curb. To his right immediately is the gravel trap. George is right beside him. And then as they progress into the apex of the corner, George is turning in. Their tires catch. George loses. They get hooked. George loses the car, spins out. And then he blames Lewis. Where's Lewis supposed to go?
Well, yeah, I don't think George blamed Lewis. I think the FIA did, but you're right. And number one, I think, for George to try that maneuver, I think he had more power available to him than he did. And so he just petered out.
Because Lewis, you normally in that situation, if you're the car that is behind going into the apex, you have 2 options. You either go off track to avoid contact, or you back out of the throttle and let the car take the corner and you get out of it.
Mm-hmm.
It's the first lap of the race. Everybody's all bunched up. If Lewis backs out, he gets hit from behind. If he goes off track, he's in the gravel trap. He literally has no place to go.
Yeah, no options. So I thought it was a silly penalty for him. Just not a lot of opportunity for him to bail out. And I think George Russell had thought at that point in the race he had more car than he had. And
in a perfect world, he should have. As the first lap, he should have more car.
Yeah. So that was he should have been, out in the front, from the lights. Mm-hmm. And he got swallowed up by the pack because he just didn't have the car that race. So but it'd be interesting, I think that going back to the championship, I think it's too close. It'd be interesting to see if Antonelli can be as dominant through the rest of the season as he has been. As long as he stays on the podium, he's gonna win the championship.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I think the second half of the season we'll see these reliability issues come into these cars, and I think the front of the grid will undergo some changes from what we've seen at the beginning of the season.
All right.
Hopefully it's early teething pains for Mercedes and George Russell. Like, hopefully they can get his stuff sorted out and he can have a stronger, not that he hasn't had a great first half of the season. He has, he's still at 3rd place, but we'll see.
All right. I think that's pretty good. I think we can wrap it up from here.
Yes, sir.
So, And who knows, I may even go back in the editing and cut this whole section of the post-race stuff off and make it a whole separate recorded video
Yeah, for
on
sure.
its own.
Absolutely.
But
I think the post-race discussion's fun.
Yeah,
Interesting.
get some impressions on what we saw and where we think we're going. So if you are watching this now, then I guess the next time we may have some more, not some more live stuff, but we may record a few more things within the next coming weeks, because obviously there's going to be news now that quote unquote silly season is upon us. Who knows where we're going to go from here, but the next race isn't until Zandvoort, which is in the last week of August. So we're going to have, about 3 weeks here with no actual racing going on. So the next live stream will be then. So until then, just keep an eye out, and we'll see what we can produce in the meantime. So until then, I hope you enjoyed the Hungarian Grand Prix. My name is Jason.
I'm Nate.
And